This game was developed by the Chinese Room and published by Curve Digital. Just releasing onto Xbox One September 20th, 2016 for a price of $9.99. But there's actually a sale price going on until October 3rd for $2 off, so it's only $7.99 if you pick it up now. Alright, so let's check out the options. We got audio. We can put closed captions on. Or put them on. Oh, large captions too. I'm going to put those on. Make it easier to read for you guys. Put up the brightness a little bit. Field of view. I'll leave that where it is. Controller. Change the sensitivity. I'm going to shut off vibration. Alright, let's start it up. You put director's commentary on. No, I'm going to leave that off. There's a lot of narration that goes on in this game, so I won't be talking that much, but I'll be talking here and there and playing, so enjoy.
Dear Esther, the gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them away. Perhaps it's me. When he first landed here, Donnelly wrote that the herds were sickly and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
This guy's deep. So this is where you start. Do a lot of walking around this game and listening to the story. Oh, flashlight. Is there anything interesting in here? Oh, a book. You can zoom in. What happened to this room? Jesus. Where art thou, Esther? Alright, let's move along. Anything in here? Another messy room. Let's move. It's a very nice looking game. It's more of a story than a game, I think. As you go along, it will trigger these narrations to come on and tell you more of the story.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
Where them gifts at? I'll take some gifts. In that cave? Nothing else in there. Let's go look around. Let's keep on moving. Alright, guess we gotta go to the beach. What is this mess? Don't know how to clean up after themselves? Was that Esther? Dear Esther, pick up your stuff.
Those islands in the distance, I'm sure, are nothing more than relics of another time, sleeping giants, somnambulist gods laid down for a final dreaming. I wash the sand from my lips and grip my wrist ever more tightly. My shaking arms will not support my fading diaries.
You don't say, huh? I would like to know where we're heading to. Just following the path. Just keep moving, just keep moving. And there's no running in this game.
The mount is clearly the focal point of this landscape. It almost appears so well placed as to be artificial. I find myself easily slipping into the delusional state of ascribing purpose, deliberate motive to everything here. Was this island formed during the moment of impact? When we were torn loose from our moorings and the seatbelts cut motorway lanes into our chests and shoulders, did it first break surface then? When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this: to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh. We are not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
I honestly don't know what that guy is talking about.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
That was the cave, but I'll save that for you guys to go check out. I'm just gonna go through the first level here. So I'm gonna keep on moving. Taking the lovely scenery.
I've become convinced I'm not alone here, even though I'm equally sure it is simply a delusion brought upon by circumstance. I do not, for instance, remember where I found the candles, or why I took it upon myself to light such a strange pathway.
Perhaps it is only for those who are bound to follow.
There's actually some collectibles you have to get as you play through. I'm not really sure where they are yet. I haven't looked into it. Got a little rock formation going on here. Oh. Some books. Something was going on down here, huh? Was it you, Esther? What were you doing? I want to know who Esther is and what this story is all about. It is kind of intriguing. It's getting dark over here. I'm getting scared. Don't fall. All right. That's chapter 1. And an achievement.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my ordnance survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Maybe I'm Esther, and I'm reading this book as I'm going. I just thought of that. Alright, but I'm going to cut it here, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more previews, make sure you check us out, The Hidden Levels.